Hey, y'all, welcome back to More Than a Title, Night Edition.
Yo, Cuzzo, we just talked about night pool, the last episode. This is the night pool edition. Night pool edition. You already know, man.
You already know, we about to go crazy. Y'all, welcome to episode 246, More Than the Title. I'm your host as usual, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And of course, I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's the word, baby? What's the word?
We're in the building, man. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to tell y'all straight up, you have no idea what goes into to producing this fucking podcast, man.
Word.
Listen, man, when I tell you we love what we do, man, and we do what we love, and that's why this shit ain't work, man. This what it's all about, man. So I'm going to start it off right now. I'm not going to forget, we got another phenomenal guest. Phenomenal. I'm using the word phenomenal because I'm letting y'all know already. We've been in the green room. He already got mad gems. He said, yo, I'm an open book. He going to drop mad knowledge on y'all. Get the button ready to download. Get the button ready to subscribe. We're about to get busy on this thing, man. So you know how we like to start every single show. G&T, grateful and thankful. Issa, this G&T is going out to your wife.
Hey, man, big shout out to her.
Man. This G&T is going out to your wife because that is the epitome of what we talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we always talk about having a support system and somebody to hold you down and somebody to help you through any and everything that you are doing. And his wife just did that. She spent the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes troubleshooting with us to make sure that her person was going to be the best on this show and he could show up and show out the way he needed to do. So G&T to the village that we talk about all the time, the support system. Issa's wife, man. We got to give her a horn for that. We got to give her a horn for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm not the most tech savvy. I'm smart in a lot of areas. But when it comes to the area of technology, man, I need a lot of improvement, man, and that's one of my weaknesses. I don't have many, but the technology thing, man, I gotta tighten up on that. But anyway, shout out to my wife, like I said.
There's love, bro.
Shout out to y'all. I appreciate your patience because I know we were supposed to be, live by 6:30, but my brother was very patient and you are very smart. My wife said we need him on our team because this nigga right here is smart as man. What?
All good, bro.
Love.
Yes,
First of all, and also to piggyback, shout out to the community. First of all,
Yeah.
I wanted to shout out to our community, the whole More Than Title community. Shout out to my dog Square. Straight up, my dog Times Square, man. So first of all, he been put me on to you, bro. He's been telling me, yo, my cousin's putting in the work. He's doing that, and that's my OG. You know what I'm saying? That's my big bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we made this happen. Shout out to Cuzzo. Shout out to Cico. Shout out to Don Juan. Shout out to the whole UN family. You know, I love y'all niggas.
Let me give a special shout out to my big cousin, man. Because, like you said, he linked me up. And, I just want to let y'all know, like what you just said, Don and Square, they raised me. You know what I'm saying? They raised me. Like, to this day, I look at them for my validation when it comes to music and rap and hip hop and you know what I'm saying, just everything. They taught me how to rap. You know what I'm saying?
They problems. They got bars. Square was Donnie got bars. Square was a problem.
Writing my first raps when I'm 8, 9, 10 years old, all the way on up until I figured out how to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give all credit where it's due. And so I love the fact that I really got like a foundation though. I got a real foundation. So when it comes to rap, when it comes to music, when it comes to hip hop, so yeah, big shout out to Square, man. Big shout out to him for sure.
Message. Love, yeah. The bros. Matter of fact, we gonna give you the proper introduction, baby.
Let's start the show.
Get it rocking. We're gonna give you the proper introduction, bro. So first of all, for all of our reoccurring More Than the Title fans, welcome back. Y'all know what it is. We about to go crazy. If you're a first-time listener, this is More Than the Title, a show where we go beyond the accolades and we talk the real. I want to know about the grind, the mindset behind the people that y'all know. So if you didn't hear it, I'm Jarrett. I got my brother Chadeo with me, and we got a special one. So we're chopping up with this brother who's been an artist who's been moving on his purpose since day one. From Washington, D.C., born, Atlanta raised, built in a musical household, helping his pops write bars at 8 years old, to crafting his own sound by 13 and being signed at 15 years old. Y'all know him from his mixtapes, King Issa, Back to the Future, This Winter, Best Kept Secrets. The work speaks for itself. But what makes his brother really special too is the world he built outside the booth. Wolfpack Entertainment, his own label, production company, Fresh Young Boys, his own clothing brand, and the way he uses social media to move culture without wasting or asking for permission, y'all. So if y'all seen him on your favorite videos, y'all seen him on the streams, y'all ain't listening to my bro. I know y'all streaming. You've seen him outside in these clubs. Y'all seen him in these boardrooms. And now he's on your favorite podcast for the first time. Let's introduce our brother, Issa Thompson, a.k.a. Issa. Y'all know what it is.
Hey, first of all, man, I want to say thank you for that introduction. That was incredible.
My God.
I also want to introduce myself to you guys' audience. For those who don't know me, I go by the name of Issa. You know, I have been doing it for a while. I've been out here for a while, and it's a lot of people that do know me, but it's also a lot of people that are getting to know me and that I'm being introduced to tonight. You feel what I'm saying? So thank y'all for having me on it. Thank y'all for doing your proper research for real. You know, and I heard you go back all the way back to the beginning stages. So that means you really did the homework on it. I appreciate that. That really means a lot, you know, that y'all took that time out. So
sure.
So let's start.
Hold on, Cuzzo. I just need one thing. Issa, do me a favor. Just tilt your screen back a little bit because you're moving, and I just don't want it to cut there. Man, right there. Perfect, cuz. There we go. Yeah, Cuzzo.
You know, you kept it real. Let's go from there, bro. Let's start from the beginning, right? Because we want to know people to know the journey, the mindset. Tell us early days, influences, you know what I mean? And how you got into this. What's up?
Early days and influences. To be honest with you, like I just said, it was my dad and it was my big cousins. When I was like 8, 9 years old, I was coming up. I was raised in Washington, D.C. I'm originally from D.C., but I used to be in New York City all the time because that's where my dad from the Bronx, 241st Street. So I was always in New York.
Hold on.
No. Slow down.
Big Bronx.
not the little one. Slow down. We from the Bronx, baby. We from the Bronx. So you don't just say that.
Oh, my bad. I was
No, Big Bronx. I'm telling
Big Bronx, baby.
241st, Wakefield. What up?
Yeah, you know, so like as a kid, that's a Florida word. I'm talking to New York niggas. I said a jit. You know what I'm saying? But as a youngin, I was like in New York a lot. I always was in New York, and I was always traveling back and forth from DC to New York. You know, it's a 3.5, 4 hour drive, so I was always there at the family cookouts, at the family barbecues. One thing that was always going on, it was always dancing, it was always music, and my cousins was always rapping, and we was dancing in Harlem shaking. This was the time of all the dancing when niggas was having fun. You feel what I'm saying? So I came up. I'm 8, 9 years old. I'm seeing this, and I was so inspired by that. Initially, I was just super inspired by it, and it was just natural for me to just get into it. And those are the original inspirations, and I just continued on the journey. I had a natural talent. I developed a skill for it. I feel like sometimes you might have something in you, but it might take something else to bring that skill, you know, out of you. And I feel like I do have a skill for writing, but it would have never been brought to light had I never had that inspiration, had I never had the right people around me.
That's a fact, though.
Shine the light on it or to actually bring it out. Had I never had these people in my life, like my cousins and my dad and stuff like that, to show me, like, you know, that I had a gift when it comes to rapping. Because now when I be writing raps, I be like, yo, this is really so easy. It has to be a gift. You know?
A fact, though.
So, you know, them are my original inspirations. And then just naturally, as a kid, I gravitated to the DMXs and the Busta Rhymes. That was my first, my original inspirations in music. On the rap side. It wasn't until later, maybe I was like 10, 11, or 12 years old when I got into Wayne. Wayne, that's like my all-time.
Mixtape Wayne.
I remember my aunt, shout out to Aunt Sheila. This is actually my cousin Don Juan's mother, right? She used to like have the bootleg DVDs. She had all the bootleg DVDs, and what she would do was She would just bring us all the DVDs. It was movies. It was like mixtapes. It was albums before they came. I don't know if y'all remember that era where everybody was.
You sure? You got Paper Soldiers, State Property, Smack DVD.
Yeah. So I don't know, for some reason she bought to the house. She bought where we was living at the time, all of the Wayne mixtapes. It was like Squad Up mixtapes. This was like, I don't know if y'all even know about Squad Up, Wayne.
I've heard.
This was like This was like back, you know, when he was just rapping with his boys. Before that, I don't know if this was before the Hot Boys, but this was like some original Weezy. She bought me this, and then I started listening to Wayne. I got addicted to it, bro. And I was in DC at the time, like I said. But after that, I just became a Wayne fanatic. I really became a Wayne fanatic. And if it wasn't for Aunt Sheila, if it wasn't for her bringing me these CDs, I probably would never discover Wayne the way I did like that.
Bro.
And what's funny was at the time, I don't feel like New York embraced Wayne like that. They didn't really embrace.
Wayne.
It wasn't until now. I feel like now New York more so embrace him.
Once he started spitting like that era with Jewels in them, you know what I'm saying? Around that era, that's when we caught on.
I feel that. You feel me? But I always felt like he was rapping his ass off. I don't know. But you know, I think maybe it had to grow on people and the different styles and flows that he bought. It grow on different audiences. That's why I'm constantly trying new stuff, because I'm like, I gotta continue to show my craft and to show the gift. Because I might connect with one audience, but then it's still 2 million people that might be on a certain sound that hasn't connected with me yet. So that's why I'm on this thing of, one thing that I did take from Wayne is like a consistency of dropping music. You know, I think that that's very important, especially in the time that we're in right now. Nobody ever dropped. I don't care who you want to say the greatest is. You can say whoever. That's debatable. Anything is debatable when it comes to rap. We can always say this person's better than this person because it's all about the ear. But when it comes to the consistency of dropping music at a high level, I don't think nobody did that like better than him. I'm talking about consistently. I'm talking about you dropping 10 mixtapes a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody had 100 features in 1 year, like rapping that good that much. So I feel like I kind of picked up, if it was one thing that I picked up from Weezy, it was that, you know. And even in today's time, I think that it's important to stay consistent because the attention span of people is so short these days. You know what I'm saying? It's like the attention span is super short. I mean, even some of the greatest artists that's out right now, like 2 weeks after they drop albums, is old already. You know, so it's almost like even when you at your best, when you at the peak, you gotta consistently be dropping. You know, and so like I be arguing behind the scenes with my team even right now, because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna drop another project in December. They like, you crazy for that. I just dropped in September, but I'm like, I want to drop again. I want to drop in December. And they like, nah, you gotta wait, you gotta spread it out, you gotta do the marketing strategy and this and that. I'm like, nah,
you can be right.
I want to drop. Like, forget all the politics. You know what I'm saying? Because I just believe personally that it's like out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, though.
Man, you might be hot for 1 week, but then the next week, you know, you cooling down, because it's like we got all these viral moments happening these days. So it's like, and it's not even that I'm trying to keep up. It's just the fact that I'm able to. Like, I got a catalog that's crazy. I just recorded 5 songs last week. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to the studio tomorrow, probably do 5 more. So it's like I'm actually able to do it. And I feel like I just want to. I mean, I just want to drop. And I just
let's go back, because we're gonna rewind real quick.
Like,
you know what I'm saying, the early influences is Pops. You writing with Pops, squaring them, because I ain't gonna hold you. That's when I got nice. My brother and Square used to rap together before you went, bro. They were like this.
Oh, that's hard.
So they used to come to my crib in the karaoke machine and be in the room. And niggas would never let me in that room. And then niggas were rapping. They was like, I'm not good enough. I said, when I get in that motherfucker, I'm taking niggas' heads off. When I get in that room, I think that made me want to write, bro. Like, I gotta have them respect me, bro. So, like, for you got signed at 15. Talk us about that moment. Like, when did you know you was nice? What was the marketing, the shopping till you get a deal at 15? That's not something that happens to a lot of people, bro.
So I was the first artist, the first rapper, the youngest rapper. Not the first, but the youngest rapper to be signed to Jive Records. When I was 15 by Wayne Williams. Wayne Williams also discovered R. Kelly, Charlie. He discovered a whole lot of people. But I can't even remember the feeling. I just remember that it was a lot of excitement at that time, and I just remember that I felt like it was just I was on a mission. I was in motion. To be transparent with you, there was something that happened in the industry shortly after I got signed. Jive Records turned into RCA Records, and then the head, which was like Barry White at the time, had went and left and went to Def Jam, and it was a new president. You feel what I'm saying? It was like a new guy that came in the building, and I remember that we had a meeting with him. It's this white man from Europe. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't really think that he knew a lot about rap and hip hop and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, and not to like to put a light on any
is it glitching on your end?
I just want to.
Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute because it's like
yeah.
glitching on my end.
Yeah. No, we got him back now. Yeah, he had froze up for a minute. Go ahead, Issa. You had froze up for a minute.
Yeah, because it's like this about to be a clip, bro.
So what I was saying was when I was signed to Jive Records, and shout out to Cersei and Crown World because that was the independent label that I was signed to at the time. And when I got in the building, I also Jacob Lattimore. I had signed it right after the time that he signed as well.
Fine.
And when I got in the building, like I said, it was a big switch that happened in the industry. And I felt like throughout my time in music, the labels and the industry tried to market me a certain way. They wanted to market me more on a style of like R&B type, which is cool because I'm definitely I make R&B music, but I feel like they wanted to market me more as like a pretty boy type rapper. You feel what I'm saying? Gotcha. And I came up rapping, so it wasn't natural for me to do that. So
that makes sense.
That was like a time in my career where I had to really look in the mirror and ask myself who I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to let them market you like this and make you into this like this image, or are you going to stick to your guns and be who it is that you was raised to be and what's really inside of you, what's from your soul? And so that was one of the pivotal moments in my career that I felt like
that's real.
I decided that I'm like, nah, this is who I am, and I'm gonna continue on this journey. And I remember I put out that Back to the Future mixtape, and just to solidify who I was, because I felt like the label at the time, the way that they was like, I remember the guy looked at me and was like, man, you look like an R&B singer, but you're rapping these hardcore lyrics. I remember him literally saying that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so I felt like that was interesting to me, you know, because I didn't understand. I was really being myself, but I guess, you know, I look how I look, and they wanted to market it a certain way, but I'm like, I'm this person because this is how I was raised to be. So I had to like figure that out. And I feel like through my journey, that's just been something that has been an obstacle, you know, to overcome within my journey, as far as like when it comes to the marketing and the music and stuff like that.
Nah, sure. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
So
you
that's what I was
but it's like the Chinese joint right now. It's like I ain't gonna it's like yo, you going crazy. This shit sounds fire, bro. But I don't know, the visual is freezing up, son.
Oh, the visual freezing up?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yo, you going crazy. Like your audio was perfect. So I don't know if the audience hears it the same way or sees it. If y'all do, let us know. But we rocking. You hear you talking that shit, bro. But I want to make sure we get the clip right. You know what I mean? Because this is gonna be crazy.
All right, but I don't know why. I'm gonna try to see if we can get the internet. Let me see.
Yes,
no.
Am I still freezing?
No, you're not freezing. You just choppy. The connection is coming in a little slow.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work.
Let's make it happen.
So you said a lot of key gems. So it's a lot to unpack with everything that you said. But let's just talk about, first of all, understanding who you are as a person at 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to start there, right? Because most 15-year-olds, you understand, 15, you're around the 10th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. You're in the puberty stage. This is when you're actually trying to figure out who you are, what your identity is going to be, what you want to look like, what you want to sound like as a human being in general.
Exactly.
Let alone a product that is being marketed through a major industry as hip hop, right?
Exactly.
So I really want to unpack, like, I know you said, like, you know, you felt a certain way and you wanted to move a certain way, but who did you speak to, like as far as elders? Who was in your corner that you used as a mentor or relied on for that more experienced knowledge to kind of give you the confidence to say, I'm gonna make this decision and stick with it?
I had all my, a lot of people be like, yo, I ain't had no support. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, I had to get it out the mud. Yo, my
Yeah.
teacher said I would never be shit. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Everybody knew I was gonna be great.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like nobody, my mother from the beginning, she supported me. Like from my mother from when I was a child, you feel what I'm saying? She was pushing me. She already knew I was a superstar. So it wasn't more so about the support of it. It was about, like you said, I, as a man going through that stage, going through puberty, I had to figure out who it is I wanted to be. And nobody can really make that decision for me, not your mother or your father or your manager or nothing like that. So it wasn't about the people who I was talking to. I've always been kind of strong-minded. And I was like, nah, this is what I want to do. And whatever I said I wanted to do, my people supported me. My mother, number one, you feel what I'm saying? She was always there to be like, whatever you want to do, we're going to go and move forward with what decision you make about it. Another note is this: at 16 is when I had my first child, my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter.
So right after you got the deal, you had your daughter?
Right after I got the deal, maybe 9 months later. I signed the deal September. I was turning 16. My daughter was born January of the following year.
Not even 6 months.
Basically,
crazy.
No, it was like a year. It was like a year after that.
Oh, the year after. Okay.
Yeah,
the year after. Okay.
Yes, but you gotta think, leading up to it, and the pregnancy and the whole I had to tell my mother, I had to tell my parents, you feel what I'm saying, that my high school girlfriend, who is now my wife, who I just met.
Fire.
This is the same girl. This is the same woman. She's a woman now. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine at 16 though, the growing pains of that, having to tell your parents that, and then you just signed a record deal, and you got a baby on the way. Now we got to make a decision: are we gonna have the baby or not? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like I said, I'm an open book. I'm being transparent with y'all. So these was all things that's like I'm trying to figure out as I'm coming into myself, as I'm becoming a man, and also coming from a foundation and a background that's very solid. I come from people who are very, we spiritual people. We don't believe in, you feel what I'm saying? My grandfather wouldn't let me have an abortion if I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? So these are things that is all I'm dealing with at this age. These are things that I'm dealing with. And I had to go through the process. And, talking about it now, I haven't talked about it. And so it's a good thing, because I think the audience needs to understand everything, like you just said, like the growth of it, and where I'm at right now as a man, and what I went through at that time, the decisions that I made got me to where I'm at now. You feel me?
That's just crazy, bro. How did that affect the music and the art? Right. So now you're making business decisions, and you're also dealing with the art, right? So it goes back to your decision of saying they want to market me this way and all that. Like, how are you juggling those emotions though, bro? That's a lot to juggle with as 15, 16, especially being the youngest at job. The pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like I said, it was a lot. It was a lot of emotions. It was a lot of different things. It was an up and down. It was a roller coaster. It was the yin and the yang, the good and the bad. But I love it though, because I learned so much and I gained so much wisdom. I wouldn't trade nothing that happened. I wouldn't trade nothing that happened in the past, because everything that I went through made me who I am. So it's like I became so much greater, and I'm proud of every decision that I made through the process. I really can't look back and say I regret anything that I did or any decision that I made. And a lot of niggas can't say that. A lot of niggas live with regrets and like, man, I should have did this, I should have did that or that. Every decision I made, I felt like was honorable. And yeah, and real talk, because at the end of the day, now I can really be, as an artist, I can be the real me. because I'm not putting up a facade. It's not an image I'm trying to portray. You said something when we first came on here. You was like, man, this brother's on his purpose. I'm definitely on purpose. This is not about just trying to sell a rap lyric to you or sell a certain rap song to you. This is like at this point in time, I know my purpose. I know like the example that I have to set. I know that as a rapper, like I'm one of the guys that's gonna make it cool to have a wife and kids. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm one of the guys that make it cool to stick with the same girl from high school, have 5 children, not 20 baby mamas. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm not judging nobody, whatever that's with that does that. But what I'm just saying, what I'm standing on, I'm making it cool to stand on this. And that's why I love like my life. You feel what I'm saying? And how everything played out.
Man, I ain't mad at that answer, bro.
I'm gonna tell you something, Issa, on some real shit, man. I commend you, brother. And I don't know if
thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I don't know if anybody ever said this to you, but on some real G shit, man, that was some real powerful shit you just said, man. I mean, like on some real G shit. You understand? Like you knew exactly what you wanted. So when you say like everybody knew that you were special, that's the mentality right there. It's like even though you were young, you knew exactly what you wanted at that stage of life, and you stood on that shit, man. And let me tell you something. A lot of people would have made a lot of different choices because trying to juggle school, trying to juggle a girlfriend, trying to juggle now being a young parent, that is a lot, bro. And now you get a fucking record deal, and we're talking like music. So you already know the hype and everything that comes with music. That can overload anybody, bro. That can overload anybody. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to salute you and say, man, listen, you know, I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody ever said that shit to you, man. Like we hear of enough failure stories where us as black and brown people do not make the right decision and stand on business. So it warms my heart, man, when I hear brothers say, nah, I stood on business and I said, if I'm going to do this, then this is how it's going to look. And if you don't like it, then don't like it. But this is the way it's going to look. And I'm okay with that. I want to salute you for that, bro, because
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
This is why we have this show, bro. And this is why I say phenomenal. And this is why we have guests like you come on, because our culture needs to hear stories like this. They need to hear that it's okay to stand on business. It's okay to do the fucking right thing, whether people agree with you or not. It's okay to be like, this is who I am, accept me or not, and have faith in yourself, man. So I just want to say, yo, I appreciate
and also
you,
not
man.
having ego, bro. Not having
not
having ego at that stage. 16 years old with a deal. I'm that nigga. It's hard not to be that. You feel what I'm trying to say? So that's even more commendable that you stood on business, bro. Like that's real shit, bro.
I really appreciate that coming from y'all, man. I look at y'all like my big brothers now, man, and I appreciate that, bro. It means a lot. It really does, bro.
That's from the heart.
Really
that's
does. I haven't had a chance to really tell the story, and so I appreciate y'all giving me the platform and the opportunity to share, be transparent with y'all, be real with you guys, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
This is what it's about, bro. Shit. So tell us, like, so what was the first moment? So you're dealing with the baby, you just having a baby, you about to get married, you're 15, you just got the deal. What was one moment for you that you was like, it's on? You know what I'm saying? From that moment,
I didn't get. It was a journey after that. I didn't even get married until some many years after that. But it was a journey, man. I continued to put out music. And at that time, I went through like an awakening, like I just said, where I was like, okay, this is who I am. And over the years, going into like 18, 19, 20 years old, I started to come into knowledge of self. You feel what I'm saying? I started to learn certain things. I started to understand who we were as a people, as a whole, beyond just myself, just as a rapper. I started to gain a lot of knowledge and stuff like that. And I put it in my music, but I also remain myself. You feel what I'm saying? And so the journey was just like a process. It was a growing process. And I think in certain parts within my journey, people got different parts of me. So it might have been a place where I was like 19, 20, I put out some music that was more focused on what it is that I was learning or at that time, you know.
Yeah.
And then years to come, it was just a continuous growth. And I think at different points, it might have been different points where the audience might have been like, oh, he's constantly on this and that and that and that. And you know, when it comes to like audience and fans, they want what they want. You know, they want what they want. They want the original. Oh, when I first seen them, when I first discovered them, when I first heard this song, this is what I want to hear forever. You know, this is why a lot of artists they get stuck in trying to just stay in the past and trying to recreate the past or continue to be somebody they was 5-10 years ago because they're trying to keep an audience. And that was another thing that I never did. I never tried to do that. I always was like, even if I lose some audience here, it's cool. You feel what I'm saying? Because I gotta be real with my growth. I gotta be real with where I'm at. When I'm penning, when I'm writing music right now, this is what's coming from my soul. So this is what I gotta do. But at the same time, I'm glad that I haven't reached my peak yet because I feel like God was keeping me for a reason until right now to where I can fully have what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I can fully be like, I'm at this point, I'm whole. I just turned 31 years old. When I say I'm whole, it's like every part of me, I'm able to like give because I know myself fully. Like, you know, everybody knows through your 20s, you're finding yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're going through your growth process. You're figuring out, you know, you're learning about credit. You know what I'm saying? The average person is learning about taxes. You're learning, you're moving to your first apartment by yourself. You get, you know, you might get, you know, some people get married or have some kids by that age. So through my 20s, I was in the learning process. And I feel like now at 31 years old, like, of course, I'm gonna continue to learn all the way through, you know, through my life. But at this point, I'm whole to the point where what I have to offer to the world is going to be important, is going to be influential because the perspective of it, even from my music, from my perspective, is like the best and highest perspective that you can kind of get, you know, at this point. And it's not just from a perspective of one angle, you know, because you know, they try to put you in the box if you just like, I'm gonna just spit bars and just be lyrical.
Yeah.
Or they put you in the box if you come from different angles, and they try to. So me right now, like if you listen, I don't know if y'all have listened to like the last project that I put out, Volume 3, but it's like you get the full perspective, you get the full understanding of who I am and where I'm at and what it is that I have to offer, you know, and so that's why I'm just excited about my journey, because I'm glad that it took me this long. So now, like, I feel like I'm fully ready, you know, that for what comes with the clout, the money, and all that kind of stuff that comes with just being a artist that is, let's just say, famous or huge or humongous, which we know that ultimately that's what's going to be, you know, what's going to happen. But it's like a lot of times we don't realize that when that happens, people lose themselves. You know, people lose their minds. People lose. We seeing that happen in front of us with the artists every day.
Motherfuckers crazy.
And so I be thinking, God, when I be seeing the artists and they tweaking out and they doing this and that, I pray for them. But at the same time, I'm thinking, God, I'm like, now I see why you kept me. Now I see why it is I didn't go, you know, that far at a young age, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I wouldn't have.
Self-awareness.
I would have been out my mind. I would have been egomaniac. I would have been thinking this shit was about me. I would have been, you feel what I'm saying? So now it's like, I know what it's about. I know that my influence ain't about me. I know that God don't give people influence for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like it's way beyond me. And so now I'm just happy that I'm able to do it, have this conversation with y'all, put the music out that I'm putting out, and go forward. Now it's like I know I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna hear your shit different, totally different. Now that I hear your perspective, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Now I gotta, you know what I'm saying? That's real shit, bro. But like
that was
your mindset
crazy.
is crazy, bro. Your mindset is real, bro. Like I gotta big you up on that with Cuzzo, bro. So I do want to know. I'm gonna ask you some rap shit then. What's your favorite studio session of all time that you've been in? Like, you've done joints with Gucci, you got joints with Fab, Jacquees. What's your favorite studio session of all time, bro?
The studio session I was in last week. I
like that. I like that.
It wasn't even a studio session with no other artist or no other rapper, nothing like that. I don't know if that's maybe was the answer you might have been expecting, but it was like I did a session last week, bro. I walked in, I lie to you not. I walked in the studio, I did like 3 songs in like an hour and 45 minutes, and they was all incredible. And I said to myself, I said, yo, if I just recorded music all day, you know what I'm saying? I got to get a studio at the crib because it'll just be a problem for people. Because I think one of the things that's special about me is I'm able to produce music at a fast level, but also at a high level. Because anybody could just go in the studio and just make a bunch of songs and just say a bunch of words. But I think because I've been doing it for so long, it's like my skill has developed to the point where I can make a lot of good songs in a short amount of time. So, man, I was just last week. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that was probably my favorite studio session.
That's fine.
Last week, the music I made last week it's not out yet. It's unreleased, but it's great. It's gonna be coming out soon. Like I said, I'm ready to drop again. But anyways, go ahead, my brother.
Nah, I'm curious though, because along with you getting signed early, you said that you bounced around a lot. Now, saying that you grew up in DC, let's just use DC versus New York. The music culture is completely different. Like DC music culture and New York music culture, completely different. You understand what I'm saying? So you've moved around a lot within doing music, and how does the different cultures kind of influence you in your music? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to bite. You don't want to seem like you a biter, like, oh, because now I'm in DC, let me be go-go. Let me do the go-go flow and the go-go. You know what I'm saying? Or if you in Atlanta, let me sound like, the down south flow now. Like, you got your inspirations. That's one. You love Wayne, you love Busta. Completely different flows, completely different.
DMX too.
Yeah. DMX, completely different, right? You know what I'm saying? And now, so you got your musical inspirations are completely different, but now your cultural, where you live, inspirations and the influence of the culture on you is completely different. How are you able to hone in now on your sound with all of that noise affecting you? Because that's a lot, bro.
Good questions.
And stay true to self.
Man, good question. All right,
yeah,
so
man.
this is how I explain that. So I grew up in DC. The guys who taught me how to rap are from New York. I feel like I got the best of all of the both worlds of hip hop. The guys who taught me how to rap are from the Bronx, New York, which is the mecca of hip hop, which is the beginning of where, if arguably, I ain't gonna say arguably, it's like a fact that hip hop started in the Bronx.
It's the mecca.
Y'all agree? Y'all
it's
agree?
The motherfucking Big Bronx.
Hold on, Big Bronx. Do we agree? We said Big Bronx, bro.
Niggas
Big
try
Bronx,
to argue bro. Like
we said Big Bronx, bro. South Bronx, bro. That's where we from, bro.
Facts. So if the guys who taught me how to
wait, hold on, Issa. You see the shirt? And that's crazy that you said that. You see this shirt?
Godsville,
what the shirt
I
say?
like that. I need
you know
that.
What Godsville stands for? Wait, you know what that stands for?
Nah, what's that?
So I'm from Forest Projects. I'm from the same hood as Fat Joe. They call Forest Projects Godsville. That's what they call it. They call it Godsville. You understand? It's crazy that I wore this shirt today and didn't even know you was going to say that.
That's fire.
That's where I'm from Forest, bro. Cuzzo from Forest, Cuzzo. You from down the block, same thing, across the street.
Yeah, PC, you know what I mean? West side.
West side PC. I knew he was going to claim PC.
Come on. The family grew up. I ain't got no summers in Forest. Keep it real.
Hey, that's fire. That's fire. All right, so look. Then I moved to Atlanta when I was 12 years old. I don't even know if we got that far. When I moved to Atlanta when I was 12 years old, Atlanta, it was at a time where Atlanta was becoming the new mecca of hip hop, right? So I moved there at a time where it was like the snap dancing, but then you had the T.I.s coming up, the Gucci Mans, you had the Young Jeezys, you had the trap era that kind of took over rap, man. Let's just be honest. Atlanta took over hip hop. And so then you had the Futures, you know what I'm saying? You had artists like this. So I was able to develop a Southern cadence going to high school in Atlanta, but also I was able to keep my foundation, which is like understanding how important it was for lyrics and bars. It was always important because that's how I was raised. So I always held that at a high level. Absolutely. So I feel like my style of music is just like a perfect mixture of the Southern cadence with lyrical content, with the respect of the MC. You feel what I'm saying? Still respecting the MC, but understanding melody. You feel what I'm saying? Understanding Southern cadence and melody. So, and like you said, even Wayne being from the South and stuff like that. So all of that just mixed in I feel like it makes my music the perfect mix for if you want to listen from up north or down south or Midwest or West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So it's perfect to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like I got the best of all the worlds. And I was able to just understand different parts of hip hop and why everything is important. So you gotta understand, because you got kids that's coming up now that don't respect the game. You got kids that's coming up now that they don't do their research on the genre of music that they're getting rich off of. Yeah. You know, you're getting rich off, you're making millions of dollars, but you don't respect it. It's one thing not to know something, because it's a lot I still don't know. It's a lot I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning about certain music that came out of hip hop that I still need to get up to date on. But it's like these kids now, they don't even want to learn. They don't even want to. They don't respect it. They don't even respect what it is. It's like not respecting your ancestors or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like not respecting. It's like not respecting the work that your grandparents put in the slavery days, and what they did is the reason they got you here. So I feel like it's like we gotta. Me, I respect it, even if I don't know everything. I'm not sitting here and saying like I'm like a hip hop guru, but I know a lot about the game, and I still want to learn. So I feel like coming up under who I came up under, being from New York, it taught me to respect the game. It taught me the importance of lyricism and the importance of being an MC. And then me being raised in DC, but then moving down to Atlanta, it also taught me a whole nother element of hip hop of like I just said, melodies and cadences and how to play with your hooks and, you know, certain slang and stuff like that you got to be able to, you know, stay on point with and be witty with when it comes to making songs. You feel what I'm saying? Because making songs is different than just being able to rap. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Let's just be
real. A lot of people can rap and don't know how to market. A lot of people can market and don't know how to rap. There's not a lot of people that know the post, bro. So I'm curious for you, bro, from the sound, because we do music too. So when do you know? Because if you go into the label, you submit an album, submit a project. When do you know you got a one? What do you look for in your sound? Because I know you got many different sounds. What do you look for when you know you got one? And what's your process?
That's a good question, man. These days it's just hard to pinpoint what's a record or not, because you got like the internet, and then you got like TikTok, and you got the kids who kind of pick parts of the song. It might be the middle of the verse that's just like a funny type of lyric that just goes crazy on TikTok. So it's just hard to kind of decide. It used to be back in the, you know, even years ago, it was like the label would decide the record, and then they move the record on radio, and then you move the song. But now it's different. It's like you got to test it. You got to put all the music out there, and you got to see what sticks. You got to kind of figure out what makes sense or what the audience picks up on. The game is changing, man, because you got records, you got records that might be hit records, but if it's not marketed properly, it doesn't get the respect or the attention that it deserves.
Message. Stop right there. Don't go further than that. We have to actually unpack that real quick. But before we do that, you're getting so many comments and stuff. We cannot go past the comments first. We got to get some of these comments off, because it's crazy. Right off the back, Times Square says strong, man. Times Square says strong. You know what I'm saying? Street Castle, strong. You know, understand what I'm saying? Penny MG1 said, keep killing shit, cuz. You understand what I'm saying? Baddie Queen 1257. Hi, Issa. You know what I mean? 12 House
What
BO.
up? What up? Love,
you know what
love,
I'm saying?
love.
Hey, cuz, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? Bamboo 420 says, yes, you are, bro. You've been setting your table. Now you ready. Damn right. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes,
again, we talk about authenticity a lot on this show, right? If you was fronting or if you was telling bullshit stories, these comments, they would have came in right now and been like, he lying, he capping. This is already showing you that everything you're saying, your fans and your support group is acknowledging, and they're back and saying, no, he talking that talk, and everything he's saying is correct, man. So you're getting a lot of feedback from Instagram. You're getting a lot of feedback from YouTube. Thank you guys for commenting. Please keep the comments coming in, man, because that goes to show you that the message that he is sending, you're receiving. Now,
hey, shout out to everybody. Love. Thank y'all for the comments.
That's a fact.
Tapping in with us, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I want to talk about this. And me and Cuzzo know where I'm gonna go with it. Cuzzo know where I'm gonna go with this. Issa, here's the thing, man. Me and Cuzzo did music. I don't know if you can see. I'm in my home studio right now. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in my home studio right now. I've had a studio in every apartment or house I've ever owned. I've built my own studio. We've been doing music a long time.
Facts.
The biggest difference in this music business is the fight between the artist making music as an artist, like a painter. You paint for self, right? Like a sculptor. You sculpt for what you wanna see. And the business of music trying to change your initial passion for your artistry and trying to sculpt it into what they think will sell. That is the biggest contradiction and battle that artists versus the music industry go through every single day. Do you stay true to your artistry, to your day one fans that found you in those mixtapes, right? And followed your journey and heard your story, or do you change it up because maybe they're not buying as many albums as the commercial people?
Man, that was, and I'm glad you, because I didn't even know how it was gonna be taken when I kind of opened up. I was like, yo, did I just say too much? Because what I opened up with just my original story about my original, like I just said when I came in with the label, and like the soul search that I had to go on as an artist, and the battle of like who I was with who they wanted to market me as it's a big deal. But I think that we're in a time right now where you're able to be yourself. It's a double-edged sword because it's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Every era that we've ever been in is always pros and cons. In this particular era that we're in, the pros is everybody can be lit and famous because the internet has opened it up to where you don't have to go through a label. You don't have to go through anybody. You can just display your talent online, and it's a chance that it'll blow up overnight.
Facts.
Right? And you're able to also be yourself. You got comedians. You got, more opportunities for comedians these days to just get online, tell a joke, or do a skit, take off like that. Now you doing 5 skits a week. Now you making money off dropping skits on YouTube and Instagram. You got people who do motivational speeches. It's like, well, back in the day, you would have probably had to go through a whole lot more to get your stuff heard or out there. So these are the good things about the times we living in. But those are the pros. But the cons is that it's oversaturated. Now it's becoming oversaturated. Now it's like the good stuff is being kind of muffled by the BS and the noise and the negativity and stuff, because it's so much of it. Now it's hard to see through the smoke. It's like, it's hard to see like, okay, what's really talent or good or not, because everybody just wakes up and think that they could just do stuff. So it's both sides to it.
That's real.
And I think that, but one of the good things, let's stay on a positive tip, is that, like you just said, I think that artists are able to be themselves more than ever now, because of the internet is opened the audience up to where it's like there's an audience for everybody. There's an audience for the weirdo rapper. There's an audience for the rock star rapper. There's an audience for the conscious rapper. It's an audience for the lyrical rapper. It's an audience for the rapper that just makes singy songy hooks. there's you know, and it's always been different audiences, but it was only like one or two people that filled up these gaps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Facts.
you had like Ja Rule, but then you had like DMX, and then you had like Jay-Z, and they filled up different gaps within hip hop. Now it's like 20 niggas filling up every gap. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like the art, so it's opened up to where more people can fill in these gaps for the different audiences. So I think it's a good thing because it's an audience for everybody, and everybody can be their self now. Because you don't necessarily need a label to market you a certain way. You don't need a label to tell you like, this is how we have to put the video out, and you know they make the treatment for the video. Now you got the artists; they can make their own treatments, find their own videographer, put it out, and display their talent the way that they want to be displayed. But like I said, I gotta go back on it because it's a double-edged sword. Because in my opinion, the labels are also needed sometimes because they're able to make global superstars and they're able to continue the process. Because now you got artists thinking that they can do it all themselves because they blow up overnight, but then you end up being an overnight success, and it's like 15 minutes of fame because you don't have the correct backing to continue that or get. Now there's no such thing as like the sophomore album and then the third and fourth album to really where you can see an artist in their career grow. Like we used to be able to see artists actually grow in their career. Like we can see, okay, he's on his fourth album. What he gonna do now? He on his fifth album. How is he gonna elevate now? Now it's just like there's no process no more of that, of the growth of an artist. It's just like overnight, boom, you get it. You know what I'm saying? And let's see if you can hold on to it, how long you can hold on to it, and how mysterious can you be to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying?
Real
like,
shit.
It's like
this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
It's good.
It's like, yo, we're in a mysterious era where it's like the biggest artists, the reason they so big is because they so mysterious. It's like they got this, and I get it, it's a marketing strategy, but it's like, I guess.
I gotta disagree with you, bro. I say the reverse. I say the reverse. Where the music industry.
Wait. What part are you disagreeing with? Because of which part?
With the mysterious part of the ones.
Mysterious. Got you. Okay.
Part,
okay.
Right?
Let me hear it.
I feel like yes, but those are the ones that have the machine behind them. So when Cuzzo brought up that we do the music, the one thing we disagreed on, I'm a rapper's rapper, bro. Like I'm a bar person. Square tell you, bro. Like, and when I have a feeling about a song, I have to go. And we used to disagree about the business of music. And I used to be like, yo, look, how will we know if we don't market it? I don't want to do what everybody's doing. If there's a formula to it, I want to go the opposite way. I got to do what's best for me. You know what I'm saying? And my creativity. That was my biggest thing. A lot of things for the artists and how you can use it to your advantage. A lot of artists are not bringing people or the community into the process. You just said you was in the studio a week ago. You did 3 joints in an hour and a half. Now, my advice to you, bro, as your brother, you need to be filming while you're in that studio, showing the process, because now the song hits different. I have a different attachment. So now if we doing a song right here on this podcast and you're like, boom, yo, Issa going off. You already came out with that melody and now it's my favorite song because guess what? I'm part of the creation. So a lot of artists aren't doing that, bro. And I would love to see that with you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Or just any artist is like, yo, my favorite artist. Like, how do you come up with that hook? Nigga, that's why I asked you, what was your favorite session? Because I'm a
message.
You catch a vibe, you was with your wifey, what happened? Like, nigga, did you argue and you came up with the best song ever? Like, you know how it be.
That's a fact. I was just talking to my sister about that. Like, I gotta have a videographer to follow me around everywhere and kind of just pick up everything I'm doing. That's a very important part of the process. And I think it's just like I tell people all the time. Nobody, like, people write. I think 50 got a book. A couple artists have a book. I think Gucci just put out a book, but people write books on how to make it in the industry. My personal opinion is everybody's story is different. You can't write a book that is going to apply to everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, you can write a book that might apply to certain people, but you got everybody's story is different. You know, everybody's come up is different. Sometimes it might take a nigga 10 years. Sometimes it take them 10 days. They wake up, start rapping, and the next day they the biggest thing in the world. You know, so it's like, it's no specific way that I can just sit here and tell you this is the right way to do things.
There you go.
Got some artists that never, like I tell people all the time, that's why when people try to tell me like, oh, you need to do this, do that, I'm like, all right, I could try it, but it doesn't mean that that's the law, because it's like I've seen artists, for example, that don't post a whole lot. Some people say you need to post every day, you need to post 20 times a day, you need to show everything, and then that I've done that, but then sometimes if you oversaturate your timeline, it can make your feed go down. Then you got other artists who don't post at all. They might post one picture, one very important piece of content a week, but it has way more traction than the artist that's posting 20 pieces of content every day. So, but then you got some artists that might post 20 pieces of content every week, and then they get traction, and then they turn up, and then they blow up because of the momentum.
Facts.
So it's really, you can't say it was the right or wrong way.
There's no right or wrong. You got to look at your analytics. You got to look at your data and look at your audience and how they're performing to you specifically. If they like 2 clips a fucking week, I'm gonna give you 2. If you like 5, I'm gonna give you 5. You like 1, motherfucker, I'll give you 1 every Tuesday at 12. It don't matter.
Exactly. I want to tell you this, Issa. A lot of times, you know, we're a little older than you, so one of the biggest obstacles that people faced in music as inner city youth was lack of education. Lack of education. So you take number 1, the lack of education about the business of music, right? Because we in the inner city, we from the urban city, we don't know the business of music. We don't know nobody technically in that time that's doing music to a level that can disseminate that information down to us. That's number 1.
Facts.
Number 2, it's your circle that you're holding around you and how they feel about your music versus everybody else's music and their understanding of music. And then number 3 is the compound of what you said before, is you feeling like you understand what you're doing yourself. And I'll give you a perfect example of this, like for myself, right? When we was doing music, when I did music and I was running around, et cetera, one of the biggest things that the people I used to do music with, and this, I look at this, Issa, and I laugh at this shit every fucking day. Like when I tell you I laugh at this shit, when I feel like this, I was so fucking stupid for even listening to these motherfuckers. But motherfuckers, the biggest thing back in New York was like, yo, you don't never change up the flow, or you sound the same on every song, or you got the same kind of. And when you look at the artists that truly become famous and truly become famous for a thing, that's exactly what they did. They honed in on their niche flow. They honed in on their niche delivery, what made them different, and they just kept carrying it forward. And like when I was doing music and shit like that, the people that were surrounding me, I'm so busy trying to fucking please them because their opinion was so important to me in the moment that I kept going about how I made music differently than how I wanted to make music. Right?
Good man,
and
good
you know
point.
What the fuck and then I turn around and then I listen to they fucking music and then they never motherfucking change. Like even to this day, I'm like, motherfucker, 30 years, you still sound like you in 1980.
That's a mess. I'm glad you dropped the message bomb, bro, because what you got to realize, the people around you are very important, okay? And sometimes we hold their opinions too high.
Too high,
Let me tell you something about a nigga like Jay-Z. You think he ever cared if a nigga told him that his flow was the same? You gotta have such a confidence in yourself that it's like, and that's the place that I'm getting to, because I'm naturally kind of a people pleaser as well, and I want everybody around me to like, yo, this is fire. But now I'm getting to a place where it's like, yo, I think it's amazing. I might got, I'm gonna just be real. I might got my mother like, Issa, you should make this the record. You should make this. I don't listen to nobody. I might got my wife, my sister like, no, this need to be the record. My wife like, no, this should be the record. I've heard this all my career. Everybody pick different songs, but that lets me know it's all great. It just depends on the time, the vibe you in at the moment, and the vibration you feeling. So now it's not that I don't listen to anybody, but I just take it with a grain of salt. You feel what I'm saying? I still listen. I'm still taking heed to all of everyone around me. I'm not ever gonna be just like think that I know it all. But at the same time, I also understand that people are people, and opinions are just opinions. And it just might be what somebody's at in their life that they connect with something. So it's like you got to be so tuned in as an artist in order to really make it to that high level. It's like you gotta be so tuned in with yourself, and you have to have like an all-knowing. You have to like know, that whatever it is that you're doing, whatever flow that you're doing, even if you change the flow, even if you do this, or if you keep the flow the same, even if that's your remedy, you gotta have like such a confidence and a knowing that is just so embedded. You know what I'm saying? In you, that nobody around you can change that, man. And that's just like the confidence that like I've literally prayed for over the years. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like I'm just now coming and developing that to where it's like I know for sure that it's not even about a song. It's not about a specific like you just said, flow. It's not even about that. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about what I believe. And what you believe is going to reflect, is going to like bounce off you, and everybody else will just get in line, because once it becomes successful, nobody will have anything to say, because it's just like, well, it worked.
He's going crazy.
Yeah,
He's going crazy. My friend, he's going crazy, my friend.
once
He's talking that shit.
I'm gonna tell you something. Once it works, nobody can know. Everybody gonna be like, yeah. He was right. You was right the whole time.
Right.
But like you said, it's standing on the business, bro. It's the same thing with the podcast game, bro. The same exact thing with the podcast game. Oversaturated, similar to music. How are you going to stand out, and are you going to stand on business? But what the thing is, if you have a good product and you're consistent enough, the people are going to come, and you have to build and cultivate your community. Mm-hmm. You have to build that shit. It is what it is. As long as you feel good about what you're creating, it is what it is. Yo, bro, we've had with the people we've had on the show, if we would have done some clickbait shit, we'd be out of here. We'd be out of here. I promise you. I promise you. We asked the right question. We had the shit teed up. We would never ask that. we're not even take that off the whiteboard. Like we wouldn't do it, bro. Like it just is what it is. So it's the same thing. So standing on what you stand on, but still being creative and finding a way to connect to your audience, man. It's all about your audience, man. So like for you, bro, you're a smart bro, and you've been around a lot of people. I'm curious, yo. Like, what's the illest gem you've gotten business wise from somebody? Whether either through a movement, like you watch somebody and they were like, "Yo, dang, I'm gonna incorporate that," or something like that. What's one of the gems that you got in your journey, bro?
Business wise,
like what's something that somebody said to you that you was like, "Yo, damn, that's fly." Like I'm incorporating that. Like business, life wise, a motherfucker might told you something about the industry, whatever. Something that sticks out to you.
I'm trying to just like remember. I'm just being real. I'm trying to remember like a conversation I had with somebody that just stuck with me. At the moment, I can't really recall, but something might come to me. I think that when it comes to whatever you're doing, like you just said, the podcast, if you whatever it is we're doing, whatever our business is, it's two things. It's like you gotta always keep an open ear to be willing to learn, but you also have to stand on your own principles as well. It's like a balance between the two. So I'm always willing to like listen, but I'm also not willing to listen. It's you know what I'm saying? It's like the perfect balance between those two, because it's like sometimes if you listen too much, then a person's opinion might influence you too heavy, and next thing you know, you think that this person's opinion is law, or this is just the end all be all of like what you should be doing in life. And I don't care if it's like the richest person in the world. I'm always listening, but I'm always paying attention and making sure that what place it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's hard for me to even pinpoint. I've had conversations with a lot of people, with a lot of great people, but I don't know, bro. Like my wisdom really comes from just like staying grounded in my spirituality. Staying grounded in a good book. You feel what I'm saying? Like really, like I really read the word, bro. And I don't even want to just talk about that and just sound cliche and sound overly zealous or something like that. But I get business tactics from the word, bro. It's like stuff in the Old Testament that the Jewish people go by. That if black people was to, if us as a black culture was to actually pay attention to, that we would gain a great amount of wisdom from when it comes to just money, community, how it is that they operate. The Jewish people, and they got all of that from us because the scriptures was written by us anyway. They just took all of that and then they took it to a whole nother place. Now, I might be going too deep right now.
Nah, I get a message. You hear me? We gonna talk that talk.
Issa, listen, we told you before the show started. This is your platform, bro. Ain't no censorship on this shit.
Yeah.
We own the fucking IP. You say what you want, exactly how you want to say it, and that's it. And that's what makes this show special, because we don't answer to no fucking body. So express yourself the way you want to express yourself, because that's authenticity. See, once again, ties back into the music, ties back into the person.
Everything.
It's authenticity. Say it the way you want to say it, because that's your message. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. But that's it. I'm big on just understanding the wisdom on things rather than just a person that just goes into it with like, yo, I want to get straight to the bag. Of course, nigga, we want to make millions.
Yeah,
that's just natural. We want to make the bread. We want to get the money. We're going to get the money, and that's what we want to do. But I just think that having the wisdom is going to bring the money. You feel what I'm saying? Having the wisdom is going to bring everything else that it is that we're looking for. But where it is you get the wisdom from is you also got to pay attention to who it's coming from as well. You feel what I'm saying? So even the people that's older than me, I'm always just listening with one ear, but I'm also testing it. I'm also making sure that it lines up with the principles that I stand on and believe. So just backing up to your question about like the conversation I might have had with a specific person. I mean, I have conversations with people all the time. I mean, I'm having a conversation with y'all right now that I'm gonna come away from this conversation I've learned something from. I think that it's important to just with it. Anytime you have a conversation and you engage, whether it be from anybody in this world, I don't care, the smallest person to the biggest person in the eyes of the world, like you got to keep your ears like open. It's always something to learn. It's always something to gain. It's always some knowledge to gain. So I'm just careful with just every conversation I have, just to make sure that I'm just, I'm learning something or I'm teaching something, either or. If you have a conversation and you're not learning or teaching something, the conversation ain't worth having.
Yeah, actually, nigga,
screaming baby. That's the screaming baby.
Yo, word.
Yeah.
Word. That's the word.
Yo, I want to talk about we don't have to get too deep into this, Issa, but it's very important. We shouted out your wife at the beginning of the show. Part of your success is your village, right? Yes, you have God's given talent, right? You have your genetic makeup, but it's your village. It's the people that support you every day. It's the people that believe in you and allow you the freedom to do what you need to do because they say, yo, babe, I got you. Talk to us very briefly about how your woman has changed your life with the love and the support that she has given to you to allow you to go out and be the man that you have become today.
Man,
that's real.
That's like a great question. It's a great point. And all I can say to that is I'm just thankful because I really truly believe she was God sent, and I don't take it for granted. Every day I tell other men my age and younger, I'm like, bruh, you find you a woman that supports you and that genuinely loves you. Everything might not be perfect, but if you find somebody that you can grow with and that y'all can mold, because we was able to grow together, we was able to grow from young. So, we might have had childish ways, but if you willing to stick with somebody and they willing to stick with you and they willing to support you through the down periods when you don't have anything, and they willing to grow with you and they see something in you and you see something in them, I'm gonna tell you right. I tell brothers all the time, I'm like, bro, there's nothing out there in the world. You might as well find somebody and then continue on with your purpose. I feel like a lot of times as men, we get stuck in a stage of life of being stuck on chasing women or chasing just like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like companionship and just chasing like the aspect of just like, we get dressed on the weekends, we do this, we do that for a woman. And then what happens is we spend so many years doing that we never ever get to actually getting to the next point of life, which is our purpose.
Damn! Nah, that was deep.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like the purpose is like what God wants you to be on purpose. Once you get your woman, that's one level of it. Now you can get on your purpose. Now you can focus on what it is you was put on this earth to do. And a lot of times I see men get stuck in a stage of just like women. You know what I'm saying? A woman stage where it's like, yo, I gotta find whether I'm going from this woman to the next, so I'm trying to find a woman. I'm like, bro, get you a good one and get that out the way so you can get on with your purpose. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's something that I'm thankful I was able to do, and at a young age. Like I said, we met in high school, and I learned very quickly. I learned at a very young age that it was nothing out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Being out in them streets, it wasn't too much going on outside. And when you have children and stuff like that, it's just like, bro, you gotta stay down with your family. You want to raise your children, of course, like that, and you want to just be a stand-up guy, bro. All the men that was in my life, I had a lot of good men in my life. I say that too. I had a lot, and what's funny is I'm saying that, but I also know that there's a lot of people that might not have a lot of good men to give them that, and this is why I'm challenging my generation, 31, and really like the audience that I rap to. I want to challenge these men to be more inside of the family households, because a lot of times we don't have men to look at as examples. We always got grandmas and aunties, but how many of us got like grandpas? You feel what I'm saying? It is like, yo, I'm pulling up on granddad today to see what's going on.
Good OG.
I want to get some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It's either we dying at a young age, or it's like, grandpa ain't in the household. And I know I might be hitting, I might be stepping on some toes right now, but it's just the reality of it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I feel like moving forward, we gotta be more so involved within the family, the structure of it. We gotta be more of an example. And so I'm just challenging us to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my audience and the listeners that that's with me. I'm challenging you to just like not continue the generation curses of just having babies and just moving around and doing this and that, but not actually like building the families, you feel what I'm saying, in the households, and actually like staying down with the children and raising the sons and the daughters so that they can know how it is that they need to operate in this world, and they just coming out here living any old type of way. And then we be mad at the government, we be mad at but it starts at home. So like I said, going back to what I said, I had a lot of men in my family, man, that I could look up to as men, like stand-up solid brothers. And I could be like, yo, this guy did this. And so I think that helped me out. It wasn't just because I'm just so amazing and great and I just became like this. It's because I did have, specifically, I had like 3 men. I had my grandfather, I had my stepfather, and I had my biological father. And I have great relationships with all 3 of them. And I was able to, I still talk to all of them every day. And these is just like stand-up guys in different ways. They all got different strengths that I'm able to pull from. But I think
that's real.
The significance of what like put it in me that, and my grandfather, he's still with my grandmother. He's still married to her 40 some years later. My mother is still married to my dad. They've been married for 25 years, man. What I'm saying is, and that's not even, I'm not saying that as like a flex, but I'm just really saying that because I'm explaining that.
No. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. That's a fucking flex. See, right there.
Beautiful thing.
We're not doing that. That is a fucking flex.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful fucking flex. That 2 people, more than 2 people in your circle can show you what true union looks like. And you took that and you built on that. And look at what you said. You married.
Right.
That is a flex, bro. Don't you ever downplay that, bro. Because the reason that our culture's in the state that we're in right now is because we're downplaying the flex. And that's why Black and brown families are falling apart nowadays. That's why Black and brown families are not building and getting to a point where anybody can say we've been married 20 something fucking years past the older generations and these newer generations, because we're not looking at it as a flex. So no, flex on it, take pride in it, and then you keep pushing it. That's all I wanted to say. Like, yo,
man, thank you, bro. I'm so blessed and thankful that y'all understand that and can kind of like back me up on it, because I never want to be taken in a way where it's like, because I know we all come from different walks of life, and everybody's perspective and situation is different. You know what I'm saying? So it might be somebody else that might not have had that particular example, and I don't want to step on it and be like, yo, you ain't had it, because I know just because I had it, it don't mean everybody had that example.
I didn't have it. But look, right. I didn't have it. Cuzzo's mother and his father are married. They've been married a long time, so he had it. I didn't have it, but I still can recognize that it's a fucking flex. I still can look at it and say, you know what? I would love to have that myself someday. How about that? It's
that's inspirational. Powerful. Even Square, even my cousin Square, he's been with his same woman, and they got two children.
There it is.
And Square, we all know he was he started off as a rapper, as a musician, just like me. You know what I'm saying? He chose his family. And so these are the examples that I've had. He got 2 kids and he's still with his woman. Absolutely. He's still in the household as a man, as a family man, as a father. Solid. So what I'm saying is just like it's not me. It's not just because I'm just this. It's like I was able to look at that and see, okay, this is what's important. Beyond your emotions and feelings. A lot of times in relationships, we like, yo, I'm feeling this other chick. I'm gonna go do this over here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we gotta grow past feelings and emotions as Black men and understand like the importance of just like standing on business. Not just emotions and being like, you know what, I got this going on, so I'm gonna stand on this. Even if I ain't feeling it right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna still stand on it. And so, to speak to, but it also, and this is just on the man side, but to the women as well, man, I wish my, she upstairs with the kids, but if she can come, and I want her to speak more on what it takes to actually be a wife and to actually grow with somebody in the industries. It don't matter what industry you're in. Every industry that a successful man is in can be difficult. But being able to be the type of woman that can stick through the process, that can grow with you, that will have grace. Y'all gotta have grace with each other. You know what I'm saying? In different aspects. And so and all of that stuff, man. And like I said, I'm just thankful for it, man. And like I look every day when I go out and I'm in the field and I'm doing what I got to do. Niggas go in the grocery stores, you see women, it's beautiful women, I'm just being real, all over the world. And I realized that they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand, like, J. Cole got a song where it's like, man, you ain't never going to be happy till you love yours.
Love yours, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and that's one of my favorite J. Cole records because it's so true. It's so real because you'll go get with this woman that look like this and they whole existence is just mess you up, man. They soul is wicked. They got this going on to just throw you off purpose, throw you off balance. You know what I'm saying? So, and we don't consider these things because we get so caught up in just like the flesh of it and just like the rush of it or the conquering is in our egos. Is just like, yo, I can conquer this, I can get this. I know I can. I could have been a pimp, a player, whatever you want to say it. But is that what God put me on this earth to do? Did he put me here to do that though?
Shit.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I think about stuff like that, and I think more of us should think like that so that our culture and our people, so we can be more progressive as a people. You know what I'm saying? So we as a people won't be at the bottom of the totem pole in the food chain. You know what I'm saying?
You're going crazy.
He gonna say, hey, yo, Issa, you pardon, boy. Issa, you motherfucking pardon, boy. I don't know if you did, I don't know if you prepped for this show and
Nah, I didn't, bro. I didn't.
Yo, bro, you fucking pardon, bro. You pardon, bro. And again, like I want to be very clear on something, bro. You made very valid points, and I'm gonna bring up something you said because I wrote it down. Just be clear.
Okay.
You said God don't give you influence for yourself. See, I wrote that shit down. Let's be clear, nigga. I wrote that down. You see it? I wrote that down. I wrote that shit down. You understand? When you are walking in the path that you're supposed to walk in, then your blessings are gonna come, but you're living for yourself. That's when you feel fulfilled. That's when you feel like you're walking in your journey. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why me and Cuzzo get on here and we do this shit not once a week, but we do it twice a week. And guess what? Sometimes 3 times a motherfucking week. See, it's a celebration, bitches.
It's a celebration.
You understand? And sometimes we do it 4 times a week because we have found our purpose. And and just like you said, look, in the media today, it's oversaturated with Black and brown families not making it, with Black and brown culture failing. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we have to have people like you come on this show to fight against the saturation of the negativity and show them that, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit, but there can be some positive shit too if you get your shit together and you get your mind right and your spirit right and you move right. See, that's the key to a lot of shit that a lot of people don't understand. And you said it, but you don't maybe understand you said it. Your movements are responsible for your outcome. I'm gonna say it again. Your movements are responsible for your outcome, because just like what you just said, I could have did this, I could have did that, I could have been a pimp, but was I put here for that? But had you followed that path, the question would be, would you still be in the same position that you're in today? And the answer is no.
No, I wouldn't be talking to y'all today.
Thank you.
Illest shit I heard it last week, bro. Nigga said, yo, dude said, when you're born, you look like your parents. When you die, you look like your decisions. That was one of the illest lines I've heard.
Crazy right there.
That's real shit. When you really break that shit out and fight for that shit, bro, like everything you said, you could have been like, yo, look, I'm gonna be a rapper. Like, but guess what? I have a kid with my wife, and somebody else might be in this house. Somebody might this, and you have to think of all these different things, bro. So like, you stay solid on that, bro. It's hard. It's difficult.
It is, bro. It is.
Yeah, and look, hold on. Before we go any further, again, we got a lot of comments, and I want to make sure that all our listeners and all our subscribers are getting their comments out. Again, first of all, you got First Atlanta Homes Removal said volumes 1, 2, and 3 is all a piece of work. You know what I'm saying? Volumes 1, 2, 3, all a piece of work.
That's my brother right there.
Hey,
shout out to my brother Paul.
Shout out to the bro. You understand what I'm saying? Sir. Also said knowledge of self, right? That's fire, right? You got somebody else, the King Gun till last said, I've been a fan for 8 years now. Fire. And I'm 23. So if you do the math on that,
wow.
If you do the math, he's been listening to you since he was 15 years old, yep. 15 years old, right? Bamboo 420 said, damn right, mom and wifey, deep, for real.
For real.
For real. Yes, you understand what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about, Issa. Like, we got to understand something. And this is, I think, is a big misunderstanding and misconception within our community. The problem with us and a lot of the decisions that we make is we think that if we don't make a decision that changes the entire masses in one shot, then we failed. But that's not the way the world works. Because we didn't get here instantaneously. We got here through decisions and movements, and so it was a process. You understand what I'm saying? So these comments, and just look at the inspiration and the following that you got right now, goes to show you that your inspiration is going to change one person here, one person here, one person here, one
That's
person
powerful.
here. See, that's the fucking goal that we have to realign ourselves with understanding. No empire is built in a day. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. No, then we ain't built in a day and we ain't going to be destroyed in a day. But what we got to understand is it's going to take time to reverse the ideology that we have with tearing each other down and not supporting each other and things of that nature. But it has to start with one person, then two, then three. Because the people that you just heard on these comments that you changed their life, guess what they do? When you change one person's life, they go and change their family's lives.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's no ROI on that. What's your ROI on understanding you change one person's life, then they went and changed their entire family's life and their entire circle's life?
Powerful.
You understand what I'm saying? So we have to take time to acknowledge the small victories and the small movements that we've created by making the decisions that we made. So that leads me into my question right now. I hear you in the studio. I hear you working a lot. I hear you making a lot of albums. What I haven't heard you say is, what do you do to take time to take care of Issa?
That's a good
you're a
question.
family man. You're a family man.
Yeah.
Husband, father. You might be a brother. That's why this is called More Than a Title. You're more than a title. What are you doing to take care of you, yourself, mind, body, and soul? What does Issa do to relax and turn off social media? What does he do to just get away and escape and take care of himself?
It's funny because my life has been it's been so much motion and just so much. I got 5 children, brother. So you got to understand, there's always noise around me. There's always a child yelling. There's always somebody that needs something, somebody that wants something, somebody screaming for something, somebody that you have to feed or that's asking for something. There's always noise. So I've learned something called moving meditation, where I'm able to be in the mix of chaos and be at peace. And I was just telling somebody this the other day. It was another father. He got a bunch of children. I was talking to him. He was like, yo, the kids driving me crazy. I'm like, you got to practice this, where I get in the car sometimes in the truck. I'm going somewhere with this. Just bear with me. I get in the truck sometimes and all the children are talking and you know, they all screaming and yelling and this and that. And I just get silent. I just don't say nothing. I don't even tell them nothing. I just get real quiet. And I've literally practiced this thing, and I've noticed that if I'm able to control my temperature, the temperature around me becomes peaceful as well, and they become silent. It's literally like a right.
Never heard that.
So
it's real.
You asked me a question of what do I do for myself, and what it is that I do for my personal peace. I don't do much for myself and my personal peace. I go to the gym in the morning. I wake up. I take my sons to the school. I take my sons to the school bus. I go to the gym at about 7 a.m., 8 a.m. I sit in the sauna. While I'm in the sauna, I read a little bit of a motivation or some scripture. That's like an hour out the day. And now I just start taking my wife with me to the gym. She got a membership. So now I'm not necessarily by myself, but I still think it's a good thing because I'm just happy that she's becoming consistent with it now. I've been in the gym for like a couple of years now consistently, but now she's in it with me now. And I've just accepted that my life is not for me, you know? And so I think that maybe at some point in time, I will like do things for myself and be able to like be by myself. But at this point in time, it's just not my life. My life consists of, you know, being in service, you know, waking up and doing things for others. And that's just my reality. And I'm telling you this not because this, like, I didn't know you was going to ask me this question. So this is just like, it's the real. I don't really have much time to do things for myself. But I think God has put me on a mission, and he's helped me to understand and find peace even within having to be consistently doing things for others. So I find peace in that. You know, I find solitude in that, and I've learned how to just how to manage and my mind and manage my emotions and all of that stuff in the mix of chaos. I think that maybe God knew that I was going to be a man that was going to have a whole lot going on. So I know how to center myself in the mix of it. You know what I'm saying? So I know it takes I can deal with a high level of stress. Let's put it like that. I can manage like a super high level of stress, and I can find like joy and find peace. Like something that I do enjoy is like Friday, Saturday evenings at the end of the weekend. You know, me and my wife, we might have us a drink, listen to some music. Like I said, it's cool when you had a woman that you grew up with, like since high school, because it's like you like the same type of music. We went to the same high school. We kind of, we sometimes we go back and listen to the artists that came out when we was in high school, and we just be listening to that music, and we just have a turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just some of the stuff I do, just like for enjoyment. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as just like me personally, myself, my enjoyment just comes from that. My enjoyment comes from being able to do things like what I'm doing right now and talk to you guys and be able to get the message out. You know, being able to come on a platform that's available for me to express certain things that might have needed to be expressed that I haven't been able to talk about before. You know, this is where I get enjoyment at, right here in this present moment.
That's real.
This is it right here. But the kids is upstairs though. You feel me?
That's
so it's
real.
like that's the answer.
Yeah, he said
it's never like a dull moment, man.
The real is you said my life is not for me.
Yeah.
That was a powerful ass statement. Like
because look, you know what I'm about to do with that, right? You know we about to get them quote cards back. Issa, you gonna be on a quote card tomorrow. My life is not for me.
That's powerful.
Yeah, we say it all the time, bro, and that's something that me and Cuzzo battle with. Something we always say, there is no me for me.
For real?
There's no me for me. Like, so
that's powerful.
Growing up in our families, we were the ones, bro. Like, it was the OGs that showed us the way, but at the end of the day, within our lineage and within our generation, it was either others and us or nothing. If not now, who? If not us, then who? Not now, then when, bro? That's how our whole thing was. If I don't get it from my family fucked up. I gotta get it. But guess what? In order for me to get it, I might do 246 episodes. I might have 2 family members share something. But out of that, guess what? And guess what? Everything I do is for you. So my life is not for me. What makes me joy is when I see you and you can be able to quit your job and you can be able to say this and that. My mom don't need to be doing this. She want to sit on the beach. Pops want to fish all day. Motherfucker, I'm going to get you the Lake Barnell, motherfucker. I'm going to get you the catfish. They're going to be delicious. I'm going to have all that. That's what enjoyment is.
Message.
My life is not for me. It's a powerful statement, bro, that a lot of people don't understand and can't comprehend.
Crazy, man, I'm glad you caught, and I'm glad that y'all on that. That's powerful.
Facts, bro. Like we told you before this show started, it's very easy. Like, be clear. We could have been salacious. We could have asked you a bunch of bullshit that don't matter, right? That would have fed into the algorithm of all the other noise of bullshit that people like to fucking, scroll through and send to each other, et cetera, but we choose the latter. We say, you know what? Yeah, we could go viral tomorrow with some shit, but we rather put in the right work, and walk the right path. And when it's our time, it's going to be our time. But guess what that means too? You know what that means? When it's our time, to whatever we're going to be, we'll be ready for it because we are practicing the way we want to play. See, we're not going to lose our minds when we get there because we're practicing the right morals and foundations and fundamentals motherfucking now. Right now.
Exactly.
Right now. You dig me? So, man, like
great minds thinking like, brother, not to cut you off, but
you ain't cutting me off. Go ahead.
Nah, I just believe that it's like you end up getting connected with the like-minded people.
Yeah, man.
So it's a reason why I'm here with y'all.
Facts.
It's the reason why I'm able to have this conversation with you guys. It's the frequency that we on. You know what I'm saying?
Square watches it all the time, bro. And he be like, yo, nah, I'm getting Cuzzo on. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't no questions. I said, send me bro's number. Let's set the group chat.
Yeah, man.
The chat. It was nothing to talk about. We never spoke. We've never spoke. Me and you, Issa, we've never spoke. But you just family. That's it. Come on the show.
Man, that's it, bro. And we're gonna do this. And we're gonna do this again. You know, so I want to see the progressions of the podcast, of my career. We got to keep doing this.
Let's
go.
We
locked in now.
This is your shit.
Like this. Yes,
so with that being said, Issa, again, you already know you've already seen the interactions while you were on this podcast, the comments and all that, like they going crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So for everybody that now, because you're on your channel, but you're on our channel. So for all the new listeners that just got introduced to Issa and just heard your story and want to follow you and want to support you, before you get out of here, one of the first things you got to do is let the people know where to get in contact with you, where to follow you, where to support you, and how to become a part of the village that you already have.
Yes, sir. Please make sure y'all tap in with me. I just dropped 3 albums from 2024 to 2025. I dropped 3. And actually, Square A&R, the projects too, by the way.
Fire.
So I Am Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. I need y'all to go. Now that we had this conversation, I want y'all to go check them out. Even skim through it, but I promise you're gonna find. I really believe y'all gonna like the music. Y'all gonna love the music. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking to you, brothers. Everybody that's on y'all's audience, tap in with me. Issa I Am is my Instagram. My YouTube is Issa I Am, ISSAIAM. If you like anything you heard, man, go check out one of my songs. If you like one song, then listen to another. If you like another song, listen to the whole album. I made the album short and sweet. They're 11 songs each. And the I Am Volume 1 through 3, I just dropped the latest volume in September. And my Instagram and I'm also on TikTok as well. Issa I Am. It's all the same. So please tap in with me. I'm dropping music. I'm constantly dropping content. I just did a concert a couple weeks ago. I did my first show that I've done in a while here in Atlanta. And I'm keeping the journey going, man. I'm just keeping it going. I'm keeping it going. So please tap in with me, y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Doing it. You doing it.
Go ahead, Cuzzo. Do the honors, Cuzzo.
And more than the title podcast. This is one of the greatest podcasts in the world right here. Y'all got to make sure y'all tap in with them. And I'm locked in with them. This is gonna be one of my go-to places whenever I'm dropping an album or I'm promoting something. This is gonna be one of the places I come to as my career continues to progress and things like that.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for meeting me right here and having this conversation with me and having a powerful man conversation. You know, man.
Man.
And I consider y'all at this point. I consider y'all my big brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
I appreciate y'all. Everything that was said, everything, all the questions that was asked, it was great. It was on point, man. I was glad I was able to express everything I was able to express, man. It was great.
It is, man.
Love, bro. As your big bro, I just want to say, speak for both of us, bro. We proud of you. The way you articulate yourself, the way you've told your story, the mindset that you have, the way you've persevered. It was a lot of gems, bro. For those that want to know, like, and actually hear it, you said a lot of shit, bro. And it's not so many people that have that mindset at your age, bro. So I just want to say I'm proud of you. I want to see you win. Any way we can help you win. And also, you already know, welcome to the More Than Entitled family, bro. You family. You know you got us on the chat. So there's no middlemans, no assistants. You text, bro, I'm in the city. I just want to go, nigga, let's go to Harlem. Let's go get a drink. Let's go over here. Like, whatever you want to do, bro. I'm doing a show. You want to just pull up.
Yo, when I come to New York, I don't know if y'all do the in person, but you know, let's try to set it up.
Let's do it.
Do y'all keep it online or do y'all do a sit down?
Bro, we've done crazy in person. So the craziest in person we've done, bro, when we did the Rohan Marley, we went to his house. We went to his house, bro, in Miami, bro. That shit was crazy. Me, Cuzzo, my lady, his son. We packed up the equipment, went down there. And yo, we created a banger, bro. The only podcast to do in this house. So we got all that equipment, bro. 2026, we focusing on more in-person content. We always gonna keep the virtual, but we got to do in person because we about to get this distribution popping. We talking to some major platforms, and we trying.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like.
That's what we on, baby. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, I'm praying for the success of the podcast, man. I love it.
Love, bro.
Man. I appreciate y'all.
Love, bro. So let me tell you what the family, being in the family.
Yeah. Go ahead,
spoken to before or after your episode, you got direct access to. Direct access to. So just go through the list of the people we've spoken to. I don't care who it is. We do not care. Just be like, y'all would love an introduction. They'll set you up. Yo, Issa, this is this. Yo, this is Issa. Yo, y'all want to talk? We introduce y'all, then we step off, and whatever business y'all do is up to you. That's our thank you for giving us your time.
No gatekeeping.
Being real.
That's dope.
That's what
that's
we do.
dope.
So please utilize it, bro. Please.
That's dope. That's dope.
Ladies and listen, I'm gonna say this shit with my motherfucking chest. I'm gonna say this shit. I'm gonna say this shit with my motherfucking chest. You wonder why Cuzzo get excited when we come on this show. You wonder why we talk about we do 2 shows a week, 3 shows a week, 4 shows a week in persons. We do events, we do all this because we love what we do. And we understand that we share the same vision as Issa. Our life is not our own. We understand that we were put here for a purpose. And our purpose is to uplift this motherfucking community and get us to a better place. And we're okay with that. This man came on this show and he was vulnerable. He told you that he was a young father. He told you that he could have made the decision that many have made not to continue on to become a father, right? He chose, no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stay through it, and I'm gonna do the hard work, and I'm gonna do it. He told you that he always knew he was special, but he listened and he learned from the people that were above him, his mentors. We talked about mentorship indirectly, right? Because he had mentors that poured into him and helped him to develop his craft. We cannot skip past that. We talk about that all the time, about pouring into your children. When you see that your child has a talent, pour into them, help them develop, right? Because the decisions that parents make, or anybody that's a guardian, anybody that's older than the child, can affect that child long term. You understand what I'm saying? He came on and he told you that I'm grounded in my spirituality, right? He uses his faith, right? He told you the ways that he uses to drown out the noise when he needs time for himself. We told you the way of his village, not only his wife, but his uncles, his brothers, his cousins, everybody that showed up for him to help him continue in his journey. But let's be motherfucking clear. This man came on here and told you that I'm married. I got kids. I had a deal at this age. I did this, I did that. And I still go to the studio, and I still go to the gym, and I still do this, and I still get up and I get to it every motherfucking day. He ain't leaving nothing on the table. He ain't making no excuses. He ain't making no excuses, because his decisions are contributing to where he is now, to his success, which reiterates what I say, how we end off the show every single motherfucking episode. The dream is free, but the hustle, well, shit, that's so separately. You know what it is? Be clear.
Love.
It's more than the title. And be clear, when he said this is one of the best podcasts, we got the analytics to prove it. We in the top 2% of YouTube for podcasts in the fucking world. So be clear.
Congratulations.
Is you crazy?
Are you dumb?
In the world. And we're going to celebrate our brother, and we're going to celebrate this moment.
Thank you,
and we're batting 1,000. I said phenomenal. It's your favorite motherfucking podcast. We're going to see y'all next week with another banger, more than a title. Who but us? You know what it is.
Love.
Controlled by me. Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know